Haunt Squad is on all of your favorite social media sites. You can find us at facebook.com/HauntSquad, twitter.com/HauntSquad, instagram.com/Haunt_squad, and search Haunt Squad on YouTube for podcast episodes and investigation videos. Stay spooky with Haunt Squad, Haunt Squad, Haunt Squad, Haunt Squad, Haunt Squad.
There is a curse, born of a powerful rage. It gathers in the places where the dead once lived. And if you cross its path, you die.
In a world filled with supernatural phenomena, 3 explorers of the unknown answer the real questions concerning the field of paranormal investigation. Vinny Gomez, Natalie Jane, and Mike Wolfer guide you to the depths of paranormal studies, creepy movies, games, and comics, and more from the world of horror and geek culture. Turn out the lights, turn on your EMF detector, and prepare yourself for the Haunt Squad podcast.
How do you like that?
That's awesome.
Scary, huh?
Yeah, really creepy. Hey guys, you know who I am?
Who?
I'm Vinny.
Oh. What?
Give me drugs.
Give me drugs. Give me drugs. Yeah, I'm Vinny.
I'm Mike.
I'm Natalie.
And we are Haunt Squad, taking you through the world of the paranormal, comics, horror, and anything else in geek culture. Welcome to the show, everyone.
Yeah, number 2 for the new year. But
No,
it's, what is it?
wait,
35?
Please don't say that. You're messing me up already.
35.
Because I have it written up in my notes.
Yep.
What?
Number 35.
All of the numbers are throwing me because you know what I was doing for the last couple of weeks?
What?
Was taking all of our episodes and converting them to YouTube videos and putting them all up on YouTube. Oh, yeah. So if you guys go to YouTube, go to the Haunt Squad channel, Haunt Squad Paranormal.
Yeah.
And you'll see episodes 1 through 33.
Yes.
They're all up there. So, you know, if you don't want to listen on Podomatic or iTunes or Stitcher, you can check them out on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yeah.
How much storage do we have on YouTube?
I don't want to ask.
Oh, okay.
I have no idea.
Do we just keep doing it until
I just
we run
keep
out?
doing it. And
We can just be creating new channels, I guess.
yeah, I don't know. I think it's unlimited.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so they're all up there. And
Yeah.
it's
Well,
fun. And
I'm going to tell all the listeners that they should download them, so it's just in case we lose them on YouTube one day.
Can that happen?
I don't know.
You know what?
Anything is possible.
I've lost stuff. My server went down, and I lost a ton of stuff.
You know what? Interesting. I just read an article about music, and the point was why you should buy physical copies of music. And I thought one of the most interesting points was that when you pay to download a song, you are paying for the privilege of listening to it. You're not buying it because you're not buying any physical thing. You don't own it. You're only paying to listen to it. And that's why I still buy CDs. I buy DVDs. I downloaded some comics from Comixology.
Yeah.
I feel like I don't have shit. I've got nothing. I read it, but it's like not real to me.
Yeah.
But, you know, yeah, what happens if YouTube blows up, then everything's gone.
That's it. Yeah.
You know?
Well, can I say something
No.
about Okay. Well, when you download that music, right? What I normally do is when I download something from maybe iTunes or something like that, especially music that I purchased, I'll burn it to a disc.
Yeah.
That way I have a physical copy of it. No matter what, it's always there. So, yeah, it's cool to go out to a record store and buy it. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't even say CD store. You have to say record store. It sounds right when you say it that way. But, to go there and buy it and everything, that's really cool. But the best thing to do is if you are going to buy it, transfer it to like a CD. That way you have you have a physical copy. God forbid anything ever happens in this crazy technical world we have.
Yeah.
You have a copy of it.
I like having that presentation, though. Like the CD art.
Yeah, I agree.
Or the DVD box. I like being to put them up alphabetically on the shelf and to be able to look at them. You can't do that with digital things.
No.
It makes, but you know what though? You have more room when you don't have I have boxes,
physical
I got
space. That's
records.
true.
I got those old things called records.
Yeah,
downstairs.
I have a bunch of those too.
Oh, Mike has
of
got
them.
vinyl. Oh my god.
Yeah. And CDs, I got about 8 boxes downstairs of compact discs and cassettes. You remember back in the 80s?
I don't have too many of those left, but I do have some.
I got bunches of them. So, and if I had all that stuff up here right now, where you're sitting at would probably be just a big shelf filled with media. And
Well, it's the same with comics. A lot of people say, I don't have room for long boxes anymore.
Yeah.
So they get them digitally.
yeah.
Yeah, it's not as fun.
But I like to hold that,
Me too.
like with my eerie and creepy and Vampirella magazines that I read every night when I go to bed.
Yeah.
I like to be able to hold it and go,
I wish there was a way we could store physical copies into the air. Just have it just poof, disappear, and then when you want it, it comes back to you.
You're talking magic.
Yeah?
Maybe like some kind of alien technology, 1,000 years from now. I don't know.
I can do
never
that. I
know.
can go with that.
Well, we did, speaking of the internet, we did a survey a couple weeks ago.
Yes.
Yeah.
We wanted to know from people, where do you listen to our podcast? Why do you... No, wait. We didn't ask why.
Why?
But we wanted to know who's using Stitcher, who's using iTunes, who's using Podomatic, and also, are you listening, downloading, or streaming?
Yeah.
We're just curious.
What was the...
We had a ton of responses.
Yeah?
Yep. Oh, yeah.
Okay, we had 7 responses.
7 whole responses.
And we
7 listeners. Awesome.
got information from them.
Okay.
But because there were so few, there's no way to tell. There was no clear winner. It was kind of like 2 iTunes and 1 Stitcher and 2 Podomatic.
That would be 5 Podomatic then, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not good with numbers.
Yeah,
But you get the
Podomatic came
point.
out on top, then
Okay.
iTunes and Stitcher, but it was all very close. And the purpose of that was to see, if more people are listening to us on iTunes, we have that rating system.
Right.
Yeah.
And please rate us on there.
We've been pushing that.
Yeah.
Not as much as we should, but we keep asking, you guys, please just throw a like on there or whatever.
Yeah.
But honestly, I don't do it. I listen to podcasts all the time.
I never rate them.
I don't
Really? You
either.
guys don't do it, huh?
No.
I don't either.
Oh, I do it.
I see stuff on Facebook all the time. People are like, how come you didn't like my thing? I did like it. I just didn't like it. I didn't click the, And it's the same with podcasts.
Yeah.
By the time you get done listening to an hour and 10 minutes of our shit, the last thing you want to do, you want to get out of there as quick as you can. Oh, no, wait, let me give it a like. It would help us. But,
Well, I tend to listen to a lot of podcasts, what I do during the course of the day, so it kind of keeps me company.
Yeah.
And I have it automatically downloaded to my phone, so, I put a like on it. I tend to do that. If
Yeah.
I like something, I'll write a review about it, and then go from there. Podomatic, though, they came out with a new app a couple months ago, and it seems to be picking up. And that's probably why, and I'm only speculating, that's probably
Yeah.
why we're getting a lot more listeners on Podomatic. And Podomatic has a rating system as well. You can actually friend us up on Podomatic. So if you go to our Podomatic site,
Yeah.
which is, if you're there, you've already found it.
Right.
You could actually friend up the site, and you could post stuff right to Podomatic. If you like the show, whatever, and that helps us on Podomatic as well. So
Yeah.
you have iTunes, you have Podomatic. I'm kind of getting the feeling that Stitcher is kind of like, we're still kind of not sure with Stitcher yet. So just the key here is keep listening.
Well, what I did with that survey thing
Yeah.
is,
We had some fun with it.
yeah, we did. I said, you know what? All the people that respond, we're going to do a raffle and give away a T-shirt, a Haunt Squad T-shirt. And no, I twisted it up.
Right.
I gave out a T-shirt to every single person that responded. Oh yeah, that's right, because we're Haunt Squad.
We do what we want.
Yep. So yeah, T-shirts went out. Everybody's happy. They went out to Scott Davis, Jeff Barron, Gary Fisher, Brian Recker, Nicholas Ramirez, Gilbert Rodriguez, and Chris Bird. And we can't say we're going to do that every time, but
Right.
time,
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, F it. Who cares? Hey, you know what? Speaking of Jeff Barron, he's a cool dude, man.
He is, yeah.
He's one of my buddies. He likes my stuff, my comic book work. And
Oh, you draw comic books?
yeah,
Oh.
it's kind of something I do in my
wasn't
spare
sure.
time. A lot of people don't know that, but yeah, I draw some, some stuff. So anyhow, Jeff been talking to him for a long time, and he usually backs all of my Kickstarters, which is really cool.
That's cool.
So just out of the blue, I got a package in the mail just before Christmas. It's from Jeff. He sent me a luchador mask. He was shopping in New Mexico and saw this mask. It was like, Wolfer needs this. It had an M on it on the forehead. Beautiful. Yeah.
Can you wear it?
Hell yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a full mask. It's
Yeah.
not something that's like
No.
framed or something.
No, it's a for real mask. But yeah, it's awesome. You know what the M stands for? Macho Free Will. Yeah, our friend Steve,
brother.
Steve Baggio, right?
Oh, Baggio.
Yeah, you know Baggio. One day he was bored, and he made an anagram of my name, Mike Wolfer, and rearranged the letters, and it came out to Macho Free Will. Where the hell did he get the A? Wait a minute.
Because Michael.
Oh, Michael
Michael
Wolfer.
Wolfer, yeah.
There you go.
He's
Yeah.
a Michael Joseph
Yeah.
Wolfer.
That's me.
I don't say that often at all.
Unless when I'm in trouble.
Because you're never in trouble. I love you and stuff. So
I don't ever.
yeah,
I
we
don't
get
think
along.
I've ever said your name. I
We
think
get
it's just
along.
bro or dude.
Dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Captain.
Okay.
Ace.
Chief.
Chief.
Miguel. I do. Hey, Miguel.
Bunky.
Chief.
No, wait, Bunky. No.
Bunk? What is happening?
I do like it when Natalie does yell at you every once in a while. She'll go, Wolfer!
Wolfer.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
I hear Wolfer more
Wolfer.
than...
I don't know.
It's when he does something ridiculous or makes some crazy joke. Wolfer.
Yeah. When do I do ridiculous things?
All the
Well, let's
time.
see. We're on
I
a
love
Haunt Squad
you.
podcast right now. You're doing something ridiculous.
Oh, boy.
Oh, that's part of your
That's
charm.
cool. I would love to see that mask.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's groovy.
Nice.
You know what? We have two of them now, though. Because you know what I did? I'm going to tell you what I did.
Oh,
I signed up for a thing called Lucha Loot. Lucha Loot. You know, it's like a loot crate kind of deal. I got a subscription to it.
It's through Masked Republic.
Masked
right?
Republic, yeah, where we get a lot of our T-shirts, a lot of our apparel. I signed up for that thing. I'm like, okay, we'll give it a shot. It was like I got the deluxe package, so it's like I forget $29.99 a month or something like that.
Yeah.
Like, go ahead, send me a box. Let's see what's in it. Holy crap! Holy crap! First of all, a luchador mask, like for real. Solar is the wrestler.
cool.
We got a T-shirt, which is an incredible T-shirt. Natalie's got all the details here. Go ahead and read.
Shall I read it?
Read that off.
All right. You got the magazine. Rudo Can't Fail.
Rudo can't fail.
Rudo Can't Fail. You got that. A Cybernetico ornament. A
Yep.
Solar Luchador mask.
Yep.
Viva la Lucha pilot DVD. Luchador sticker.
Yep.
Cero Miedo bottle opener.
Sarah Miego bottle opener.
I think you freaked out the most for that one. An autographed Phoenix postcard.
Phoenix.
An autographed Evilise photo.
Evilise.
And Dr. Wagner Jr. t-shirt designed by Jesse Hernandez, a.k.a. Urban Aztec. He's a great artist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't.
That's
you know,
a lot of
like
stuff.
seriously,
It is.
Yeah, it's incredible. I would recommend
That's phenomenal.
everybody go to the internet and look up Lucha Loot and sign up. Tell Mike Wolfer sent you because that'll get you an extra 58%
Well, that-
discount or something.
So
No.
if you listen to this show, you better go.
Yeah, you get nothing, buddy. But you know, it was well worth it.
That's cool.
Very thrilled.
Next time, Natalie, take a video of him when he's opening it up. I want to hear and see the excitement.
Our friend Michael
have.
Michael Woodson asked me. I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
To do
yeah, I
and-
think it was him. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, you should videotape him.
Yeah.
Wah,
man.
wah. We already tore that thing up.
Yeah.
So.
Because if you know Mike the way I do, he's very laid back.
I'm
He's very
yeah.
calm.
Totally not excitable at all.
No, but from his look and demeanor at this point in time, explaining what he got.
Oh yeah, when I opened that
tore it up.
When I opened that thing up, I jumped up and down on the couch like Tom Cruise on Oprah.
Oh boy. You did.
Phoenix signature postcard. Oh my god. Phoenix.
It's time for Real Talk with Mike Wolfer, covering the world of indie comics from the inside out. News, gossip, and helpful tips for aspiring comics writers, artists, and publishers. It's all right here on Real Talk. Now here's your host, 30-year veteran of indie comics publishing, Mike Wolfer.
So, Mike, going back to the comic thing.
Sure.
What do you got going on? I mean, it's the new year.
Yeah. I have so much going on. Holy crap.
Yeah?
So much going on.
Yeah.
I have never been busier in my life with comics than when I'm my own boss. You know? It's ridiculous. There's so much planning and, aside from the work itself,
Yeah.
all of the, the business aspects of it just is ridiculous. And the stuff Natalie's working on with all the production and scanning and lettering and, oh my God, preparing digital files and PDFs and blah, 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 blah. But I'm also planning actual books, fun things, and coming up with stories. And something I have coming up.
Yeah.
I'm doing a Kickstarter to fund a new series it's a Widow spinoff. It's called Widow Progeny, and it's going to be a 3-issue miniseries. And I'm going to put that out in June, July, August of this year. So it'll be in stores this summer.
Cool.
But I'm doing a Kickstarter in January to, basically get the money together to pay for the art for the artist. Because I'm not drawing this one. Somebody else is drawing it. I'm only writing it because I'm busy with Daughters of the Dark Oracle. I don't have time to do another book. So here's the story with Widow Progeny. Back in 1996 or 7, I forget, I was going to do this series. And Carl Moline was the artist on it. And I published the first issue of the 3. Right about that time was when I was negotiating with Avatar Press to bring Widow over to them. So I had put out the 1 issue, but then I signed a deal with Avatar. And in the deal, it was like, oh, yeah, we'll finish Progeny over here. Well, they never did. For one reason or another, that series never was completed.
Right.
So all 3 are written, and the first one was published. The art, of course, obviously by Carl Moline was done. But 2 and 3 haven't been drawn. So I'm going to put that series out now. And it's scary. It's sexy. A lot of my stuff is sexy.
No.
Yeah.
Well, can you give us a little bit of a taste of what it's about?
No.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so the story with Widow is she is like half human, half spider kind of thing. She's got like arachnid DNA in her, right? So she's kind of like a werewolf, except she changes into a spider kind of character. She had an interaction with another male character. His name is Captain Stein. He was a ship captain who was bringing supplies to the island where she lived. Here we go with the island.
What is it with you and islands?
Anyhow, Stein contracted the virus from Emma, who is the main character, Widow, the spider woman. So what we're doing is we're following his story and how that spider virus has moved from that island to another island.
Okay.
And there is a woman named Katie who is shipwrecked, basically, on that island. And the island is overrun with these horrible mutant spider creatures. So the story is about a Coast Guard rescue team who spots the sunken ship that she got there on. They land on the island to investigate, and they're thrust into this incredibly horrific world of spider creatures. And, of course, there's a hurricane approaching, as,
There's always some sort of trouble.
Yeah. It's an island. It's in the Caribbean. And it's rainy and it's dark. The new artist who's going to be doing issues 2 and 3, Roy Allen Martinez. This guy's freaking awesome. He's unbelievable. I backed a Kickstarter about, I don't know, maybe 6 or 9 months ago because I saw his art associated with it. It was, from some other publisher. I saw his art and I was like, holy crap, this guy is good. I have got to get this thing. For one reason or another, the Kickstarter, I don't know, it was canceled and it didn't go through, and they've had some problems. I don't know really what's going on with that. But I got up with him, I'm like, dude, if you need work, come over here. How much do you want? He said, I want this much. I said, done. Done. And we'll do a Kickstarter, to raise the money to pay him. But he's already turning in work, and it's, oh my God, it's killer. It's
wow.
killer stuff.
Yeah, it's great.
So finally, after, almost 20 years, this series finally get published. There's people out there who have Progeny #1, and they're, at the nursing home right now going, I wonder if he's ever going to finish. Where's #2? Well, #2's coming. And with the Kickstarter, what you're going to get is not those individual issues that are coming out in the summer.
Right.
You're going to be getting the trade paperback, collecting the whole thing way ahead of time. And we'll ship that in probably May, I think.
Okay.
So you'll get the whole story if you back the Kickstarter. Get it way ahead of time.
Nice.
And they're going to be signed and numbered and all that stuff that I usually do. So Going to have some great stretch goals and other rewards in there. The usual things that I do. Oracle cards, which people freaking love those things. They're kind of like tarot cards.
Yeah.
And every one is different. It has different, a different picture on it, obviously. But the words, you know how a tarot card has one word,
right?
Or it's like one name.
Yeah.
These cards it's a crazy thing that I came up with. They've got 4 different words, and if you lay the cards over one another, that word aligns with the word on that card, and it comes up with a different combination. And oh boy, it's fun stuff, but only for amusement. Going to be doing some trading cards, and I've got some more Widow action figures that I'm going to be throwing in there.
Cool.
Fun stuff. But another Kickstarter. We just finished. Which one did we just finish? Widow Archives Volume 5,
right.
Widow the Origin. That had a lot of backers, and I'm thrilled to death with it. So yeah, we're just rolling along, and in case you guys don't know, the reason I do all these Kickstarters, I keep putting it out there, it's the only way I'm staying in business. I mean, we're selling books in stores and making, like $200-300 a book if we make anything at all. A lot of books we take a loss on, like the trade paperbacks. But Kickstarter makes it all worthwhile.
That's awesome.
Yeah, Widow Progeny.
Okay, and that's the Kickstarter. And when does it start?
Don't know.
Okay, so you'll let everybody know via Facebook when it does. Okay,
Facebook. Yep, look me up. Look at the facebook.com/The Curse of Ragdoll or facebook.com/official Mike Wolfer. Yeah.
And I'm sure Haunt Squad will have something up about that, maybe.
Haunt Squad pimps the hell out of my stuff.
Nice. So that's cool.
Because it's Natalie.
Yeah, because it's me. What else do I have to do?
Awesome.
Thanks to Natalie.
Pimp out my man.
Haunt Squad's everywhere. She does a hell of a lot of work, especially on Twitter.
It's fun,
Twitter.
though. It's fun. Because I've actually gotten a lot of my, personal friends to get into Haunt Squad. And even though they're not maybe necessarily into comics or into horror, they still support us and they have fun listening to it. It's interesting stuff.
Yeah. I'm trying to figure out who is our listeners. Who like my English? Who is they?
Well, you sound like me.
Who are they? We've got comic people listening. We've got Lucha Underground people listening.
Yeah.
We've got, horror movie people listening.
It's a variety.
I'm not really sure why everyone's here, but we're glad that you're here.
Yeah.
We know that we get a lot of listens every week. I don't know if they buy comics, but we keep throwing my stuff out there. Just, you never know. Somebody might say, hey, I'm going to try this thing out. And then before you know it, I've got your money. If I had a mustache, I would twirl it. Well, I kind of do.
Boy.
If I had a mustache like Sam Elliott, I could twirl it.
Oh, no. Oh, boy.
Yeah. You know what? Let's go back to Sam Elliott for a minute.
Why?
Natalie's got a confession to make. Oh, yes, you do.
This is kind of dirty, though.
Yeah, that's what our listeners want.
Oh, Jesus. All right. So, all right. I admitted that I had a crush on Sam Elliott.
Last week we were talking about Frogs,
boy,
the movie
yeah.
Frogs. Sam Elliott was in that.
Yeah. So the El Rey Network on New Year's Day, they were going to be playing Roadhouse. And I was like, oh my God, that's so cool because I had only seen that once before. You got Patrick Swayze and Sam Elliott. How cool is that? And Mike had never seen it before.
Never. Saw it.
So I said, okay, well, we're going to watch this. So that got me into the whole, I thought he was so cute. And so in 89, I was 11. Would that be right? I was 11 or something. So here I am, this 11-year-old girl. I'm like, oh, he's so cute. But I had first saw Sam Elliott in Mask, which came out in 85, where I was 8 years old. So here I am, 8 years old, having a crush on probably like a guy in his 40s or something.
Creepy already.
I don't know. But he's cute. He was cute, and he's, kind of macho, but not an asshole, and that voice, the voice.
Sure.
So.
The old Sam Elliott.
So here I am. I'm on Twitter because I'm excited about, I'm excited about El Rey showing Roadhouse, and there were people that were posting pictures. I was looking at the hashtags and stuff, and someone posted a picture from Mask where Sam Elliott was wearing a T-shirt that said "Mustache Rides." And I just burst out laughing because I'm thinking, here I am, 8 years old, seeing this, and it doesn't connect. What the hell's a mustache?
Not.
No,
Yeah.
I know. Like, what the hell's a mustache ride? And I'm sitting there because I watched Mask with my mom, and I think my brother as well. And I could just picture my mom, like, beads of sweat coming down, like, because I was a very curious kid, and I'm thinking, God, please don't ask me what's a mustache ride. God, please don't ask me. Don't ask me. So
what is it?
I'm thinking like it flew over my head. I didn't question it. It was just like, oh, he's just wearing a T-shirt. Mustache rides.
Yeah.
Oh boy, naive little Natalie.
I'm so happy that you were naive. Thank
Well, me
God.
too. That would have been weird, and
Yeah.
especially since I had a crush on him. Ew! Oh, let's just stop. Okay, this is uncomfortable. Let's move on.
Everybody, just send your pictures over to Natalie.
No. God.
Any pictures you have of her hero, her
Yes.
love.
Okay.
That's- oh boy.
Yeah, I thought you were going to say send pictures of mustache rides.
Oh no!
Oh my god.
If you have pictures of mustache rides, send those to Urban Heretic 187.
Maybe you could Snapchat with him. I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Yeah.
And she's fanning
It's
herself right
hot
now.
in here. I don't know what's going on.
Oh, it's that Sam Elliott. Oh,
Jesus. He's 71 years old now.
Holy
is he really?
71, yeah. He'll be turning 72 this year. Yeah, I don't know.
Everybody's still looking good.
Yeah, yes.
And you all knew Dodge. Now we know where Natalie's sweet spot is. Sam Elliott.
Oh boy.
Oh.
Stop it. And then what? Sebastian Knight had to give you some crap about,
Oh, boy.
you know, oh man, I can't remember now. Because you have a goatee.
I do.
Now I see why, you know, Mike has the goatee. And oh, boy.
Mike has a slight Sam Elliott look to him.
He does.
I've heard
He
that a
seriously
lot.
does.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
have. People.
Yeah. You just gotta talk like this all the time.
Back when I was single, before I met Natalie, and I would go out to like do karaoke because I was bored as hell. And, you know, I'd be out there, yeah, I'm, 40 something or whatever. I'm still cool. I can do karaoke. And it's like, young girls like in their 20s coming up and going, hey. And I'm like, yeah. And they're like, you look just like that old guy on the show. Like, hold on, what old guy? Oh, that's Sam Elliott. Oh, thanks. Or no thanks. I don't know.
I guess.
Whatever.
Well, that one lady at Redner said that you remind her of Keanu Reeves.
Yeah.
That was really, yeah, so that
Yeah.
you look like him.
Yeah.
Now, if I just look at you, if you were clean shaven,
Mm-hmm.
kind of have the eyes. You have beautiful cheekbones.
Thank you.
Beautiful high cheekbones and a prominent nose. I'm okay. I'm just gonna
Mike's
stop
a
now. 'Cause
catch.
Mike is so cute.
Yeah.
You're a handsome guy.
The rest of the
No
show
doubt.
notes for this episode, they're out the window because we're just going to keep talking about me.
Flattering Mike.
Oh,
Okay.
boy. Well, let's not bring up the time that we were in Walmart and the guy came up from behind us and he said, "Excuse me, ladies."
Oh,
Yeah. I've gotten that several times.
did you turn around and go, excuse me? I have a Dodge pickup truck outside.
Oh my
boy.
god.
Oh, boy. All right. Let's move on.
Yes.
Okay.
Let's move on to something grown up and mature and not silly and stupid. Pokemon.
Oh, what?
Yes. You did a couple of...
Pika?
Shoo!
Kip! Come on! Kip! A couple of episodes ago, we did our video game episode.
Yes.
And I totally left out Pokemon
Yeah.
because we were running out of time, actually. And so I chopped that whole thing because I had too much to say. And I'm not going to say a lot now, but I did want to touch on it. Pokemon, freaking awesome. Are you guys at all familiar with the trading card game or the video game?
Familiar? Yes. Do I play it or did I ever? No.
Right.
Same here. I've seen them, but I've never played them.
You're familiar with the concept, just, gotta catch them all,
There's Pokeballs, and they come out of them,
Yeah.
and they fight, and they go back in their Pokeball.
Yeah.
I don't know, is it a Pokeball?
Yes.
It is, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know the game though. Is it like D&D where you tell
Yes.
a story and then you throw down a
Oh,
card?
no.
or-
Sorry, not D&D. Like, what's the other thing? The kids are playing, like Magic.
Magic, okay.
Okay.
You know what? Pokemon, what an incredibly genius marketing tactic they had. Incredible. They had the trading card game, they had the video games, they had the cartoons, and then the movies too to support that. All of that stuff and toys all at once. Boom, flooded the market. You couldn't turn around without seeing Pokemon. It was incredible. Unbelievable. And it's really cool that Pokemon fans, they're not necessarily a fan of one of the particular facets of it. Like there's people who are really super into the card game and nothing else. Or there's people who love the Game Boy game or the GameCube game or whatever, those things that kids play, those video game things. I played the trading card game with my kids. That was awesome. You know why it was awesome? I'll tell you why it's awesome. There's a lot of games out there. They don't challenge kids to think. You just sit there, shoot, 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 shoot. You're just like mashing buttons. Pokemon says, hold up, slow down, stop. You need to think about this. And you have all the time in the world to decide what kind of attack you're going to do.
Okay.
You know, like a video game and the trading card game. Same thing. Okay, I got this guy out here. I got a Mudkip. He knows Mud Slap, and he doesn't know Tidal Wave because he has to evolve in for alligator before he does. You know, you got to think like 3 steps ahead, because the thing you do now may have absolutely no effect on your opponent, but it will in 3 turns. You know what I mean?
It's like chess.
Oh my God, it's incredibly complex.
Wow.
Plus, you're, each Pokemon has a type. You know, it's like grass type or water or fire, whatever. And you have to assess the abilities of your opponent. Like, oh, wait, he's steel, so he's strong against grass or whatever. You know, okay, so I need to retreat that one and bring out a water because steel is weak against,
So it's an elemental thing on top of that, too? Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's incredible. And I completely encourage my kids to play that because I'm like, yeah. They could sit there and look at their Star Wars action figures and go, nah, 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 pow, 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 pow. Man, that's nothing. That's not.
I did that
That's
when I
not
was a
doing
kid.
anything.
Yeah.
Well, I did too. Yeah. But love Pokemon. Love it.
Cool.
Love it. Love it.
Do you still have your Pokemon cards?
Oh yeah.
Oh boy, we went through them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How large
really
of a
cool.
stack do you have? I mean,
A couple of binders full.
wow,
You know?
really?
Yeah.
Now, do
I mean,
your
they're
kids-
not mine. They're not mine.
I was going to say, do your
They're
kids
kids,
have them
yeah.
too? All right, so these are a combination. This is the family Pokemon binder.
The most I ever got into Pokemon.
Yeah.
Wow, were the toys. I love toys.
Oh.
I think everybody knows that. So
Yeah.
I had a little Meowth
Oh, did you?
stuffed animal,
Yeah.
and then I had Charmander, Charmeleon, and Charizard. I
Oh,
had the
sure.
little evolutions. and just little plushy toys. So
Yeah.
and I saw Pokemon the first movie.
But yeah.
Yeah, and I was the only one in there that was 21, 22 without a child.
Oh,
Yeah.
It was like
Natalie.
parents when they were kids, and I was with one of my friends, and she wanted to see it because she thought that Pikachu reminded her of her hamster, and I want to see it. It's so cute. She started crying when Pikachu died.
Pikachu died?
Wait.
Pikachu
no,
died.
Ash. Wait, didn't Ash die?
I don't
forget
know.
who died.
Pikachu dies, and was that? I have no idea. Someone starts crying on him,
Yeah.
crying on someone, and their tears make him
Yeah.
live again. And she's crying, and I'm like, "Get me the hell out of here! I'm so uncomfortable right now." Yeah, so that's
Well,
the characters are. Really
let me
cool.
throw this out there. How ballsy was it for them to name their movie Pokemon the first movie? They're like, yeah, no, we're doing 20 of these things.
Oh, it was called The First Movie.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, the one Mewtwo.
Yes.
Mewtwo was pretty awesome.
Yeah. And Mew was in that.
yeah.
Yeah.
The closest I ever came to playing with Pokemon or being near it was a Volkswagen Beetle
Oh, yeah.
that was painted up to
Yeah.
look like Pikachu.
The Pikachu car, yeah.
And I thought it was the coolest looking thing ever, but I could never think of myself driving it. Just having it in the garage, saying, "Look, I got Pikachu the car."
I have one stuffed animal that I stole from my daughter.
Uh-oh.
She kind of gave it to me because she knew how much I loved it. Mudkip. Mudkip.
And I didn't get the joke. I had no idea.
What joke?
So you know Mudkip, or so you've heard of Mudkip.
Oh.
I don't know. It's like a nerd thing. I
Oh,
didn't get
I heard
it.
you like Mudkip.
Yeah. I didn't get it.
That's kind of like an icebreaker among, Pokemon fanatic circles. You can just walk up, hey, she's cute. I think I'll just walk up and say, so I heard you like Mudkip. You'll know real quick if your foot's in the door. Yeah, Mudkip's awesome. There's a video. Look it up on YouTube.
Look it up.
There's a loop of 2 Mudkips talking, and one says, Mud. And the other one says, Kip. The first one says, Mud. Kip. It's like 8 hours long or something.
Yeah.
Just Mudkip. Yeah.
No.
Freaking awesome.
No.
Okay, so anyhow, let's
Yeah.
Pokemon.
let's get off the Pokemon.
And now, our main topic.
So what's our topic for today, guys?
Pokemon. No.
No, you just talked about that. Stop.
Our favorite Asian horror films.
Yep.
Sweet.
Yeah. Do you have any, Vinny?
No.
We might as well get that one out there right away.
I'm going to sit off to the side, and I'll just give my ohs and ahs.
Yeah.
No, unfortunately, I do not. I'm not worldly like Mike and Natalie.
Well, we're not worldly either. We just, I don't know.
I'm just curious.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's my curiosity.
Yeah.
I guess.
I like all foreign films. I don't know why that
I
is.
just like creepy stuff, and it doesn't matter to me if it's not in English, you know.
Well, I find it interesting, and that's why I like listening to you guys talk about it.
Yeah, well, we have some recommendations for you.
Yep.
Ooh. Well, let's go.
All right. I'll talk about my favorite top 3. My favorite 3. So honorable mentions, I'm going to get those out of the way. I'm not really going to get into what they were about because you could look them up.
Yeah.
Honorable mentions. Tell Me Something. It is a South Korean film. Mm-hmm. Then there's H. That's a South Korean film. It's part of the H.
Letter H.
The letter H.
I've never heard of that.
I have it at home. We need to watch it.
Do you? Okay.
Yes. It's part of the Tartan collection. And then Battle Royale. That is a Japanese film.
Yeah.
Battle Royale, yeah. And I think, also, another one of my favorites is Ju-on the Grudge, but I talked about that in a previous episode, and that's Japanese as well. So, all right, my top 3. I will start off with, that's what I'm doing when I'm trying to waste some time and I'm flipping through pages. I will just do a little sing-song. Okay, so my top 3 actually happen to all be Japanese, all J-horror. And my first one is Suicide Club, also known as Suicide Circle, depending on where it was released, where you get it from. Mm-hmm. That came out in 2001 at the Tokyo International Fantastic Film Festival, and in 2002 in Japan. And I'm not quite sure when it came out here in the U.S. on DVD, but I saw it about mid-2000s. So the movie starts off in Tokyo with a large group of schoolgirls. They're all holding hands, and they decide that they're going to jump in front of an oncoming train. And it's really gory, actually. It's really gory. And this is the first of many mass suicides that'll take place in Tokyo and, throughout Japan. There's also a pop group called Desert that may have a connection to the suicides through some emails. It's kind of hard to tell, it's really creepy. So at the death scenes, rolls of flesh are being found, and you have these 2 detectives that are trying to solve why these suicides.
Whoa.
What?
What?
Rolls. Actual rolls of flesh.
Of flesh?
Yeah.
Ew.
Yeah. It's really bizarre. It's really creepy. So that's what they're finding at the scenes of these suicides, and these 2 detectives are trying to figure out why these suicides are happening and where they're going to happen next. And, what I found most curious about these people that were committing suicide is that the characters didn't seem to, have any problems. They weren't depressed. They didn't, It was just kind of like, yeah, people are just committing suicide. Let's do it, And I don't know, I guess it just kind of reminded me of society and fads.
Yeah,
and,
well.
What one person sees, as obscure and, all of a sudden becomes mainstream and it's hip, and no matter how outrageous it is,
kind of like the Kardashians. Never mind, just keep going.
Hipster shit, you know what I mean?
Shit,
like
yeah.
that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Just, we're all going to do it. We're going to be cool.
Yeah.
But I think, kind of sent that message. And I also heard from, other people that were talking about it that it had actually something more to do with Japanese culture, which is something obviously I wouldn't understand. I don't live there. I don't know the culture, but that the Japanese culture is somehow losing their culture. I don't know if it's because of westernization, but it was trying to send a message about that, like identity and culture ties and stuff. But if you like a movie with a lot of gore, splatter, this is it.
Suicide Club?
Suicide Club, Suicide Circle.
Do you have that?
I don't.
Wah, wah.
No, it's something that I wasn't able to find when I moved.
Oh.
Yeah. Bastard. All right.
My first one is a movie called The Host, and it's South Korean. Came out in 2006. It's a monster movie. Mm-hmm. A lot of the Asian movies deal with ghosts. Mm-hmm. The horror movies that we like. This was straight up monster movie, and basic premise is there's a river called the Han River, and a U.S. military base or something dumps formaldehyde into the river, and it creates this monster, this slimy creature thing, like an animal, like not Creature from the Black Lagoon, but like a big and teeth and tail and all that, right?
Don't make me do it.
Do it.
It's not as good as the first time.
That's the sound it makes. So what was cool about this is the story is about a family. There's a guy and his dad and his brother and his sister and his little daughter. They run a snack stand on the edge of the river. It's like a touristy kind of area. And of course, there's this monster in the river. And the monster comes out and it takes the little girl. Because it's like eating people and people are disappearing and stuff, right? Takes the girl. So the whole story is about this family, who's kind of a little bit dysfunctional, coming together to take on this monster and to hopefully rescue the girl. So, it wasn't your typical, like, quote-unquote giant monster movie where, okay, now the army comes and they do things. It was about the family ties and about how they develop better ties between them and see some of the bad things repaired. And, you know what I mean? It was cool. It was really cool. Now, of course, there was the army. They were the bad guys. They locked everybody up because they were they didn't want everybody to find out that it was their fault, that they created these creatures. So they're saying, well, there's a virus it's carrying, and we got to put everybody in quarantine and all of this. But they were cool. The family was cool. They're like, we're breaking out, and we're going down in the sewer, and we're going to take this thing on. It was really cool. Very, very good movie. And the digital effects were awesome. Great movie.
Cool.
Yeah.
I liked it, too. I did see it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So my next one is Audition. Classic Takashi Miike.
Oh, boy.
Oh, boy.
Oh, boy.
This was first seen at the Vancouver Film Fest in '99. It came out to the theaters in Japan in 2000 and finally came over to the U.S. on DVD in 2002. All right, so you have a character, Aoyama, who is a widower, and he decides that it's time for him to start dating. He wants to date. He's lonely. He's bored. So one of his friends is a film producer, and so he comes up with this plan to hold fake auditions as a way for Aoyama to meet women. So in doing that, he meets Asami, and they begin a relationship, and, she seems very quiet and reserved, but he soon begins to find that she has a whole other side to her, and that it's nothing like his first impression.
Yeah.
So I'm laughing because it's just so outrageous.
Oh, boy.
So the movie, it takes a little bit of time to build some tension. You see some things that happened, what's going on in Asami's life currently, and things that had happened to her, when she was younger, that Aoyama is unaware of. And yeah, it's very creepy.
Oh,
and
boy.
it just all leads up, I'm not gonna, get all into it, but it all leads up to a very unnerving and squirming finale between the two of them.
Yeah.
Talk about a showdown. Oh boy.
So basically, if you haven't seen it, it comes down to it's torture.
Oh, okay.
If you're into that, like Hostel, I never even saw that. Never even saw Hostel. But the things that she does.
Yeah, it's not for the faint of heart.
Not at all.
No.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
But if you have a strong stomach, I recommend it.
Oh, great movie. Great movie. Miike. Oh, my God. You know what? I'm going to throw this one out there. One Missed Call. That was Takashi Miike, too. And I'm not talking about, it makes me angry when you mention movies. Oh, did you see The Grudge? Oh, people always think of the American. Like, there's so many movies where Asia did it 10 years before, and people here only know of, oh, yeah, I saw that. It had, like, Zac Efron in it. And, no. One Missed Call, prime example. The original. Oh, man. Basic premise of that. You get a phone call on your cell phone. It's you from the future screaming because you're dying.
Jeez.
Yeah. You hear yourself die over the phone, and you've got the date and the time right there on the phone. Oh, my God. We don't have to go into it, but what a freaking great concept that is.
So wait, do they live at the end?
I'm not going to say.
Oh.
I actually, I don't remember. It's been so long since I've seen that. But let's skip over that. Okay, here's a really freaking crazy one. Uzumaki. Natalie has seen this.
Yeah.
Came out in 2000. It was based on a manga by Jinto Ito. Actually, this is another one of those examples where the movie came out before the manga was completed, so the movie's a little bit different. The ending is different than what was actually seen in the comic. It all takes place in this one town, Kurauzo, and it's a pretty little town. Everything's calm, and and beautiful and pastoral. It's real nice. And there's this girl, and her boyfriend's father has a video camera, and he's like a videographer. He's obsessed with videotaping things, and he's particularly obsessed with videotaping things that have a spiral pattern to them. And he has a whole collection of videos where he's just videotaping spiral patterns. And it turns out other people in this town are having the same fascination with spiral patterns, to the point of, like, the father, the videographer guy, he's looking in the washing machine and he's thinking, oh, it goes around and around and around. What if I crawl in there with my video camera and tape?
I've done that.
Oh, yeah, he does it. He does it. He disappears. They find him. They open the little washing machine. He is just, like, wrapped all around that middle spindle. Like, just freaking unbelievable.
Is this a comedy?
Not at all.
No, it's not. It's weird. You know, and snail shells, that figures very prominently into it. People are seeing the pattern, and the kids in the local school, they start getting kind of slimy and sweaty and walking kind of funny and getting humps on their back, and they start transforming into snails, giant snails, climbing up the sides of buildings, and people are like, oh, look, there's some more of them. What's going on? It's weird. It's like a fairy tale kind of thing, because normally people would say, let's get the F out of here, and, you know. But they sort of accept this, and there's it's weird. It's like a nightmare.
Yeah.
It's crazy. This one guy gets hit by a car. He gets wrapped around the axle of the car. Oh, his body's in a spiral. You know, it's like, it's nuts, man.
Vinny's face.
Yeah.
And you guys watch this?
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great movie. Uzumaki. Uzumaki. Check it out if you haven't seen it. Woo!
Oh boy. All right, so this is actually my favorite. My favorite. Cairo, a.k.a. Pulse.
Oh, yeah.
A.k.a. Transit. I guess it's also called Transit Cairo. Translates to that. All right, this is Japanese horror. Came out in 2001, and it is directed by Kiyoshi Kurosawa. It's based off of his novel, actually. All right, I'm going to blab about this one, so if you don't want to hear it, don't listen. Okay, so this takes place in Tokyo. I'm just saying, if you I haven't seen it, I want to see it. They also remade it. Kristen Bell and Ian Somerhalder was in it. It wasn't a terrible remake. They changed a little bit of the ending.
What was it called? What was the remake called?
It was called Pulse.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
Yep.
Christina Milian was also in it.
Yep.
But, I mean, it wasn't horrible. It wasn't like the worst
Yeah.
of remakes or anything. But they changed some things in there. They actually explained something that I'm going to get into. It has to do, it's called the Forbidden Room and the use of red tape. That was explained a little bit more. But,
oh, yeah.
yeah, which I thought was pretty cool.
Yeah.
But it kind of made you think more in the original version. So, all right, this takes place in Tokyo. You have two storylines, and they connect throughout the movie. It starts out with a group of friends who work at a plant nursery, and one of their coworkers, Taguchi, has gone missing. So one of the coworkers, Mishi, goes over to Taguchi's house, only to find him acting strangely, just really unresponsive and depressed. And the reason why she was going over there was because they were all working on a project together, and he had a disc, and they needed to turn it in. So she went over for the disc. He goes over, he hands it to her, and she's just looking at it. And he disappears. Well, she goes to find him in another room, and he's hung himself. So this is like the beginning of a bunch of crazy stuff going on. His friends decide to view the disc to see what was on it, and they all view it together, and that's where even more weirdness begins. They see a very eerie image. It's an endless image of him just staring into the monitor. So one of the friends starts receiving phone calls, and someone on the other line is saying, in Japanese, "Help me." And they also find a piece of paper with the words "Forbidden Room" written on it. And there's instructions how to build this room. So meanwhile, in the other storyline, you have a student, Kawashima, who installs a dial-up internet. And upon his connection, is taken to a web page immediately asking him if he wants to see a ghost.
Yeah.
And there's a live webcam. And again, more eerie images. There's people sitting in chairs slumped over with bags over their heads. He freaks out and turns it off. Turns back on, though, and he's unplugging everything frantically. What I thought was funny was the whole dial-up thing. That was just hilarious.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
So, yeah, he freaks out. So, as all this is going on, more and more people are seeing ghosts. They're seeing ghosts. More people are disappearing. People are dying and literally becoming stains on the wall. There's stains on the walls, and it's just crazy. So, Mishi and Kawashima meet up. That's where these, storylines, kind of connect. Mishi and Kawashima meet up, and they're trying to find someplace safe. They enter a factory, and they find a door with red tape around it. And they meet a ghost that tells them death was eternal loneliness. So right there, that's just, like, really depressing, and it's just so empty. And I guess somehow the dead, they found a way to communicate with us over the internet and needed us to make these forbidden rooms so that they could enter into the world of the living.
Oh, boy.
Okay, so after that, they're fleeing and chaos is going on all around them. It's absolutely grim. All the apocalyptic images. The entire movie just has a feeling of dread. And I won't ruin the ending, but what I got from it was, it sends a message of how, the internet has changed us, where people feel the need to connect with others, like complete and total strangers.
Yep.
But at the same time, they isolate themselves with those around them, which is just really weird. But I recommend it. It's really creepy. I mean, you see these ghosts, and God, there's this one scene where, I don't know if it's Kawashima, but this woman ghost is coming at him, and she has these really, like, crazy, unnatural movements. Do you remember that when she's coming down the hallway?
Yeah.
It's creepy.
It seems like so many Asian films deal with desensitization.
You sound like me.
Of people and society,
Yeah.
and losing your culture, and the effects that technology have had. Oh, it makes everything so much better and wonderful and blah, 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 but we're losing ourselves, and you just see that theme recurring in so many different movies.
Yeah, true.
Technology, well, like One Missed Call, like so many of them deal with that. Or even if we want to talk about Ringu, you've got TV, videotape, and all of that. Like, how do we take these mundane, everyday things that we all have around us, and we totally take them for granted? Oh, yeah, it's my cell phone, it's my, whatever. Yeah. What if that thing can kill you somehow? What if you're cursing yourself because you're using that or whatever, and we don't know? It's all, I got technology, I don't care, I don't need to know. Maybe you need to know. It's like when we go on our investigations. We're using modern technology to try to contact the paranormal. Maybe we shouldn't. We don't know. You look at that last investigation we did at Village Graphics, and we had that voice come over the walkie-talkie, and I said,
"Are you 10 years old or younger?"
Do we know what the hell we're doing? I don't know.
No.
Do we know who we're contacting? No, we don't. But in these movies, it's a very terrible, horrible, scary thing.
Yeah.
From very terrible, horrible, scary places.
I know who would know, though.
Who?
Sam Elliot.
God, okay. Just blew everyone's ears out.
Okay, so my last one, I like it. A lot of people don't like it. They say it's derivative. That, they just, copied, this movie and that movie. This. Yeah. It's got a lot of the same themes as a lot of other movies. But I think it's freaking awesome. It's called Jurei, the Uncanny. Came out in 2004, Japanese, directed by Koji Shirashi. Yes, it is similar to Ringu. You've got a ghost that is haunting people. And this movie, I don't even know how to describe it because it's really weird. It was shot on videotape, and then converted to the movie look thing, you know what I mean? Like they throw that filter on it.
Yeah.
But you can tell it was videotaped. And I think they should have left it on video because that makes it feel live. You know what I mean? Like you're really there. And it is told in reverse chronology. Yeah, this is 10 chapters. It starts with chapter 10 and it works down to chapter 1. So you're seeing the end of the story first, and you work your way to the beginning to find out how this whole thing first started. And this ghost transfers itself from one person to the next. If you have it, if it's attached to you and you're cursed, you're going to die. But whoever you come into contact with, they're next. It's going to jump from you to them. And then from them to someone else and someone else. So when you watch this thing, you're watching the end first, and you're seeing characters like, who the hell are these people? Well, then you watch the next chapter, which is the previous chapter.
Right.
Oh, and then you see, where they came from, and how they got the ghost from somebody else who's like, who the hell's that? And then you see the next chapter, and you see, and oh my God, I don't even know how the hell they wrote this thing, and kept it all straight. Maybe they just wrote it, chapter 1 to 10, and they just flipped them.
I think they were walking to work and they dropped it, and then they just had to redo the paperwork.
Maybe they shuffled it up and said, we got something here.
Yeah.
I don't know. But it was really, really cool. And it has, that it's so prevalent in J-horror. You take the average, like I said, the mundane, the average ordinary settings, and they turn that into something frightening and horrible. Mm-hmm. A hallway in a hotel. It's just a hallway in a hotel. But you put somebody standing there, and it's dead quiet, and there's no one else in that hallway. And they look down the hall because they think they heard something. You put yourself... Have you ever been in a hotel by yourself?
Yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about.
It's
scary.
Creepy. It is. And that's the kind of stuff that happens. There's a great scene that takes place in a hair salon. And there's a girl who's sweeping up the clipped hair that's on the floor. Mm-hmm. She has a big pile of this clipped black hair. Pretty scary, because it's Japan, right? They got a thing with like creepy black hair, and I'm not going to say what happens, but it's really, really cool. And like I said, it is kind of derivative of other movies that came before it, but there was something raw about it. The acting wasn't the greatest, but they felt like real people because they didn't seem like they were acting. They seemed like just, hey, you want to be in a movie? Come on over here. Yeah. It was cool. Really liked it. Mm-hmm. Ju-Rei, it's spelled J-U-R-E-I. The Uncanny. Okay. Check that out. Mm-hmm.
Question everything.
Okay, our question is from Kirk Lindo, publisher and creator of the Vampirus Luxura series. Mike.
Yeah, I had a feeling it was for me because I know Kirk. We go way back.
You're a comic creator who self-published successfully in the 90s and are doing so now again.
Yes, I am.
Which do you enjoy more and why? And what are the major differences between publishing then and now?
Oh, boy. Which do I enjoy more? Two different worlds. Publishing in the 90s was crazy. If you could put a number 1 on a piece of crap, it would sell 5,000 copies. It didn't matter. Now it's tough, man. It is a very, very tough market. But that means that only the best is rising to the top. There's a lot of, small publishers out there and a lot of people who are getting stuff published with the help of Kickstarter, which is great. There's a lot of new people in the industry who are going out to conventions and pimping their stuff just like they did back in the 90s. The difference is there was a hell of a lot more money back in the 90s. I don't know why. People seem to have a lot more spare cash just to spend. But also, too, there was an incredible thing going on back then called the speculation craze. Everybody thought that if it had a number 1 on it, it was going to put their kids to college because, USA Today and CNN, everybody was running these stories about Batman number 1 sells for $6 billion. And, and everybody's thinking, I need to go out and buy some comics right now because they're going to be worth something. And what happened was there was a lot of people buying things that weren't good. A lot of comics just weren't good. But they had incredibly inflated print runs because the speculators would come in and say, well, give me 100 copies of that. And these little guys like me, Ground Zero Comics I was called back then, I put out Widow number 1 and I'm like, holy crap, I'm famous, I'm popular, people like me because they bought a lot of my books. No, a lot of people bought them because they were thinking, well, let me get 10 of those instead of 1 because I'm going to put 9 of them away and I'm going to make a fortune. Of course, now on eBay you can find them for less than $6 billion. But, it kind of destroyed the industry, that whole speculation thing. A lot of people, big Wall Street money guys and stuff, everybody was buying things up like crazy, and print runs were inflated. And then when they all realized the stuff they were buying was crap, they jumped out of the market, stopped buying, and, publishers' print runs dropped from 100,000 copies down to like 8,000 copies, because that's really how many people were actually reading the book.
That's more realistic number. Yeah.
Everybody went out of business. They went broke. They went bankrupt. Distributors went under. It was terrible. So the 90s, best of times, worst of times, because I would show up at a convention. I couldn't keep stuff in stock. It was crazy. Like, oh my gosh, I'm out of books. Unbelievable. Go home with like a pocket full of 20s. It was awesome. It was awesome. Now, not so much. It's not like that. But we're a leaner, meaner machine now, publishers, small publishers, because we've got to be the absolute best. And we are fighting for even the smallest of print runs, barely surviving. But I think that's good. I think it's good. Because, okay, I'm going to be honest. I'm going to put it out there. There's a lot of people who want to enter an industry because it looks cool and fun and all that. They're not committed. You know what I mean? They don't have the talent for it. And it just sounds like a good time. It sounds like fun. It's probably not good that they're not getting the encouragement of having speculators give them a whole bunch of money for something that's really not worth it, So it's tough. We're fighting tooth and nail.
Wow.
But we're surviving. And I think the product that we put out, Daughters of the Dark Oracle in particular, stands way above a lot of other stuff out there. Because you can tell how much I freaking care about it and love it, I'm putting everything into it. And we're trying to come up with the most attractive packaging as possible. When people see something that comes from Mike Wolfer Entertainment, and I always say it like that because my name's in the name and it's kind of embarrassing. But I think they can see that, when they see it, or when we do a little graphic, or everything we do, you can tell how much work goes into it, and it's totally full time. And there's a lot of other stuff out there that's just thrown together, and you can tell it's thrown together.
Sure.
And, maybe they'll improve with time. I don't know, but it's a great winnowing process, this tough market we're in. It's good.
Well, you've also been in the business, too, so you have enough time to, figure it out.
Well, that, too. I do have an unfair advantage that I've been in the business for 20 years, so I know what works and I know what doesn't. Of course, I'm still learning all the time what works and what doesn't. I mean, look at the art prints that we do. In my opinion, I think they're really, really gorgeous. There's 11 by 17 art prints. And the color work that Cece de la Cruz does on them, unbelievable, man. She makes me look like Rembrandt, and it starts out me looking like Charles Schultz, I thought, man, art prints, people love art prints. Guess what? No, they don't. They don't. Whatever. We still put them out anyhow.
Sure.
I still spend the money on them because I'm proud of them. But, the market changes, and you do what the market dictates. So I guess bottom line would be I like the 90s more for the money, but I like it more now for the creativity that it's forcing out of us.
Sure.
We can't be slackers and get paid for it. We have to be the absolute best we can be. So
cool.
There you go.
Yeah.
Hope that answers your question.
Yeah.
All right, before we wrap things up, I want to thank a bunch of our friends on Facebook and Twitter for sharing, retweeting all the Follow Fridays. But before we do that, Vinny has a confession to make.
Oh.
Well, what is Twitter, guys? I don't know how it works. I can't figure it out. I've had Twitter for, 5 years or however. The other day, or a couple of days ago, I got this thing where I was notified that I was hashtag, the little number sign, FF. And I was like, what the hell is this? Oh, and I saw all our names, and I'm like, what the hell is this? What am I being FF for?
Fantastic Four.
But there was 7 of us, so I can't. Right.
Right.
I have no clue. I don't know how to talk on it. I don't know how to. I know how to retweet, but I don't know how to say something. Like
How to do a tweet?
no, like let's say you guys
How to respond to a tweet?
Yeah, you guys are tagged in something
Yeah.
and says, yeah, so and so says blah hashtag boo, and then I'm like, okay, retweet. What? I don't know. I have,
Well, first
and
of
then it
all-
doesn't show up in the conversation. I don't even see the conversation, so I'm all over the place.
Well, hashtag FF is Follow Friday.
Oh,
And basically that's, your friends telling other people to follow you. And so, we have, a lot of really nice people that are doing the Follow Fridays, and they're putting your handle, Mike's handle, my handle, and Han Squad and everybody else. And that appears on whoever's following them that's in their news feed and saying, hey, follow these guys.
Yeah,
So
and then
it's
you
really-
in turn can retweet it so that all the people that follow you will see everybody's names on that list, and they can go, hey, I wonder what that's who that is, and they can click on it and go, oh, I want to follow them too.
Yeah.
Oh.
You have a couple of different options. Like, first of all, I work off of my phone. I have the Android app, so it might be a little different. Mike, you do TweetDeck.
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
Yeah.
So on mine, what you can do is you can reply back, and there's a little arrow. It's like underneath the tweet, and then you can respond to the person or to everyone. Because basically, what you're going to do is you're going to respond to everybody that was tagged
so
in
everybody
there.
will see what I'm saying. Like,
Right.
what is this?
What
And-
I do is
okay.
I'm just a little more. I try to be considerate because they're going to get a notification. What I'm going to do, I'm going to reply to the person that actually did it and take everybody else's names out.
Okay.
It will appear in the thread like a conversation. So if you open whatever, you look at the first tweet, anybody that's responded will be underneath that, and that's where yours will be. So you can retweet it, and you can also quote tweets now, which will retweet it, but you can have a response, and
Yeah.
you'll have your response on top, and then their original thing underneath the message or whatever.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
What gets a little confusing for me is when I'll get a notification that says you were mentioned in a conversation, and I'll look, and it's like 20 tweets in to a conversation when somebody says, oh yeah, Mike Wolfer should see this, and see what? See what?
Yeah.
And then you have to go back and read all of the the thread basically to
Right.
find out what they're talking about.
Well, my apologies to everyone who put me in the hashtag FF file. I
They got some errant tweets.
may have gotten errant tweets, may not even gotten me to
Yeah.
retweet that. So now I kind of know what it is.
Yeah.
These
Yeah.
are like FF you back.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, what the F? F?
I have to ask though. Don't feel bad. I ask
Oh, you
Natalie
ask
all
too?
the time.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Like, wait a minute. How do I put the should I hashtag or the
Yeah, the whole
handle or-
hashtag thing. I don't know how it works. I
I'm
just
getting
go
it,
with
though.
you guys. So you know, yeah.
I just
okay.
everything I tweet, I just say what I want to say, and then I do hashtag spooky click, hashtag lucha click, and I'm
Exactly.
good.
Yeah, I have a hard time with the spelling too. So yeah, I'm not sure if it's spooky click the way it's spelt, or if you spell it with like CLIK.
KLIQ.
See, there you go.
Yeah.
See, I have no clue. So you know,
Yeah.
yeah. Sorry, sorry everybody. But I'll start retweeting just so that if I'm included, I'll retweet.
Yep.
Just to retweet.
Yeah.
I'll get used to. I'm a Facebooker.
What was that?
What was that?
Was it outside? It was paranormal.
I don't know. We'll listen to that
Yeah.
back, and we'll
It
give you
sounded
guys
like a
our
hum.
assessment. Yeah.
It sounded like a hum, right?
yeah.
I thought it sounded like I don't know, like gardening equipment, like a saw or something. I don't know. Oh well. All right, so we have some people to thank here. JJ Johnston, Right Coast Pro, Basket Case Lisa, Sebastian Knight, Podcast in the Woods, Nicholas Ramirez, Candy Burke, Ashley Patterson, J-Man, Urban Heretic, Haunted Knights, Wayne Klingman, Matt Dixon, Gary Fisher, Mike Beck, Joel Richardson, Michael Woodson, Kiana Fury, and Angelica Garcia. Also, hashtag Borracha Amiga.
You know what? She and I had a conversation last
Oh,
week
boy.
about Prince Puma's butt.
You started it.
I did.
You started it.
Prince Booma's butt.
Yeah, we were watching the Lucha Underground mini marathon, and Prince Puma came out. And at one point, somebody had started a Twitter account for his butt because he's got a good butt, you know.
They're all in shape.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
So I tweeted in the middle of our conversations while the show is on. I'm like, oh, is this the point where the Twitter account for Prince Puma's butt chimes in, and he responded. Puma's like,
his butt responded, right?
No, he responded.
He actually responded.
He's like, LOL, I don't even know if that still exists.
And Angelica comes in.
Oh, yeah. Well,
she volunteered to start it up again. She said because, she appreciates his butt.
Nice.
So, hey.
That booty.
That booty, yes.
Oh, boy. Yeah, Lucha Underground. God, it's just around the corner.
I know.
Oh, my God.
Oh.
We can't wait.
We are excited.
We'll come back with in the next episode or the next one, whichever.
Yeah.
We're going to be talking a lot more about
Most
Lucha
definitely.
Underground.
Can't
And
wait.
you know what's around the corner?
What?
A couple weeks.
What?
We're doing that freaking awesome crossover podcast
Yes, coming
with
soon.
the Last Real Heels.
Yes.
Woo!
Yeah.
See, I'm already prepared.
Got your woos and your brews.
Yes.
Yeah.
Stay spooky.
Mudkip, the mudfish Pokemon. Mudkip uses the sensitive radar receptors on its head fin to determine what's going on around it. In a pinch, it can brandish enough power to crush rocks. Mom! Yip! Mom! Yip! Mom!